Hello and welcome to NTD UK. I'm Neil Woodrow. Today we take a look at how Britain and Europe are faring under the CCP virus crisis. In the UK last weekend, a delayed delivery of medical gowns from Turkey left frontline healthcare workers exposed. Britain's healthcare provider says supply levels have become critical.
Doctors and nurses for the National Health Service in England received unwelcome news over the weekend. Full-length protective gowns had run out. Hospitals provided plastic aprons and coveralls to frontline workers dealing with COVID-19 patients in place of their proper kit. Sources told the Telegraph newspaper a reliance on cheaper disposable kit from China in recent years meant production for some of these items in the UK had shut down. Global shortages delayed deliveries from China and England was left short. The British government has faced repeated criticism from NHS staff that healthcare workers aren't getting the personal protective equipment they need.
We've got to do more to get the PPE that people need to the front line. This is an extremely challenging situation.
There are over 1.4 million workers in NHS England and over 2 million who work in social care that require PPE.
One country in Europe took a different approach to managing the coronavirus crisis. Sweden's answer to Dr. Fauci recently spoke to the German Marshall Fund of the United States about what worked and what didn't in the country's response to the pandemic.
Sweden, like a number of other Nordic countries and the UK, did not implement a heavy lockdown at the outset, but most other countries switched strategies when they saw the number of cases going up. Sweden, not seeing this rise, kept to its original course of action. People were told to stay at home only if they showed the slightest of symptoms. The Swedish government did not order restaurants to close, but to limit the number of customers. And while large gatherings of people were banned, events of fewer than 50 were permitted, provided they were held outside. Chief epidemiologist Dr. Anders Tegnell attributed the success of these measures to the high level of self-discipline shown by the Swedish people. Tegnell said this quality was in keeping with the country's approach to public health, with 80% of people supporting the approach of individual responsibility. Ski resorts even closed voluntarily over the Easter holiday. But not enough measures were taken to protect the country's oldest residents. Over half of the deaths attributed to the virus have come from homes for the elderly. Dr. Tegnell said that overall the country's approach was successful. In Stockholm, which saw the highest concentration of virus cases, the number of reported cases is already going down. This suggests that they have already reached the peak.
It emerged last week that one of the UK's established media, the Daily Telegraph, has followed the lead of US media organisations by scrapping the newspaper insert and online content paid for by Chinese state media. At first glance, the section called China Watch could look like part of the Telegraph's own content, but in fact it was paid for advertising by the Chinese state-run newspaper China Daily. The content of China Watch echoed the official lines of the Chinese Communist Party as part of its propaganda outreach. In The Guardian, another UK newspaper, it was reported that the Telegraph published the insert over a 10-year period for a sum equivalent to over $900,000 per year. This move by the Telegraph comes amid growing scrutiny over the actions of the Chinese Communist Party to suppress information about the virus. With lockdown extended for 3 more weeks, local people in a Derbyshire town are determined to keep their spirits high and have come up with an interesting idea.
For the last 4 weeks, the residents of Belper joined a chorus of mooing. Some have taken the matter even more seriously, using plumber pipes, traffic cones and a didgeridoo to amplify the moo. According to the Belper Moo's Facebook page, people are invited to fight lockdown loneliness and boredom by mooing from a window or doorway. Jasper Ward, the person who started all this, told the BBC that it was a way to make staying in a little bit more bearable.
This is an Australian announcement, and I invite you to join in the Belper Moo at the end of this announcement. The Belper Moo takes place at 6:30 every evening.
The mooing not only continues in Belper, but has spread to neighbouring towns as well.
That's all from us at NTD UK. Goodbye and see you next time.